Radio Rahim with the body snatcher, Dillian Whyte. You know, what people can't see is behind me. There's a line of cameras. Everybody wants to talk to Dillian Whyte. It's something that we haven't had an opportunity to do at these massive events over the past year. But you've been around. You've been ringside. You've been watching what's happening in Saudi. I mean, being a fighter at heart, how difficult is it to watch these guys get these opportunities and have to sit out?
It's very difficult because this guy's opportunity. I believe I could have beaten him. I should have fought him. I would have been a great fighter at him. I can beat him. I can beat him. And it's been tough not being able to be a part of it. It's like, man, I just keep getting kicked in the balls every time. And it's like, every time a big movement happens, I end up in some misfortunate situation. It's like, damn, how unlucky can I be? Is the plot against me, or am I just unlucky, or what is it? I don't know. So it's very difficult, man.
You sat next to Frank Warren. He's saying you're a Queensberry fighter. Are you, in fact, now a Queensberry fighter?
Yeah. That's where the fights is at. You know what I mean? This is where the big fights is at, the big heavyweight fights. It's got everyone with any meaning from 4-rounders to 12-rounders. So, yeah, you know, I'd be silly to go elsewhere because it's so easy for him to make fights. All I got to do is just win them.
Sitting out is difficult, like you just mentioned, mentally and physically. You got to get back into fighting shape, even with the fights that you've had in the meantime.
Yeah.
But as far as that way you pursue your career, you've been kicked in the balls this entire time. How do you approach this next phase, which could be the final phase of your career, differently than how you pursued the beginning?
You also have to put all the experience I've had over the years and gain together. You know, I'm still learning. But just put everything together, all the misfortune, all the fortunate, all the experience, all the fights I've had, the rounds, the training camp, see what worked for me, see what my best weight is, see. Just a lot of decoding, really. Just watching everything back and decoding. Okay, I threw this much punches when I was this weight. In this fight, I did this, in that fight. And just try and combine and find something in the middle, you know?
You say you were sitting there watching fights and saying, oh, I could beat this guy, I could beat that guy. Which was the one that was the most difficult? The one that was like, that is the fight I should be winning myself right now?
The AJ Elena's fight. You know, that's the one. Because AJ was right there at the time. And he was right there at the time to get taken.
I was sitting ringside for Joshua Whyte. The fight, as soon as it was done, everybody was talking about rematch. When are we going to see it? It seemed like it might even happen immediately. And here we are, you know, some damn near 10 years later.
It's boxing. Boxing is like, you know, it's like, you know, I'm not someone that sucks up to people and I'm not a yes man, so it makes it difficult. I'm not the most liked. I like to try and do things my own way as much as possible. I don't just say yes. I have respect people. I'm calm, but I like to try and do things my own way as well. So that makes it difficult. I'm not very much liked inside the industry because I have a mind of my own.
This time, the cards might be finally stacked in your favor. Joshua's got no fight. If you come through on the 5th, this rematch with Fury having retired is the biggest British boxing match that Joshua could hope for. Yeah. Has anybody made a call to you about this fight? Have you asked Frank, listen, if I get this done, let's make it happen?
Nobody made a call to me. It's up to Joshua and AJ. They still hold the cards, you know what I mean? So I'm just focusing on Joe. Joe is a hard fight. Joe is a very hard fight. I focus on beating Joe, and then whatever happens after happens. You know, I might beat him in good fashion. I might get a direct shot at the title next or something, you know what I mean? Because there's opponents that's needed all the time.
Would that mean more to you? Because I would imagine, okay, let's say it's Dubois. That's a big fight, of course. It's a title shot. Wouldn't be as big a fight as Joshua Whyte in London.
I don't care. I'd love to win the world title. That's all that's missing from my career. You know, I win that, and then whoever they win a fight after that, I don't care. That's all that's missing from my career. I've had everything. The ups and downs, the losses. I KO people, I've been KO'd. I've had decisions where I've had to come back from behind the scorecards and win. You know, I've had rematches. I just want to have a trilogy and have a real title fight. And then I've done everything I set out to do.
Should have a trilogy.
Yeah, I'd love to have a trilogy. Almost fighters in the history of boxing had trilogies.
Well, what trilogy is out there for you? I mean, is that Dylan? I mean,
I could fight
Chisora.
If I fight AJ, it's a trilogy. I could fight Fury another 2 times. I could fight Parker another 2 times. I could fight Chisora.
Oh man, you mean taking from one fight to 3 fights?
I would love to do that. Imagine that.
What did you make of Chisora's performance on Saturday? I mean, a lot of people were saying he should be retired, including Frank 2 years ago, and here he is, number 49, still at the top table.
He's a warrior, man. He's a warrior, but he seems to find a way to break these guys' spirit. Wallen just got broken down after Wallen got broken in the first round. In the first round, but if you find someone Derek's age and the way Derek's had hard fights, so you got to be physical. You remind him of these hard fights. You got to be physical. Wallen was trying to box. You're not going to box your way through 12 rounds against someone like that. You know, and then he wasn't stumping his authority. He was he wasn't boxing and moving. He was boxing and kind of running the defensive, and that's how Derek caught him. You know, he was, instead of being offensive, he was attacking. Derek was on the ropes, leaning back, and boom, right at the top of his head, sending him flying. I could even create Derek. That was a good shot. It's an amazing shot.
The same thing people were saying about Chisora 2 years ago is what they're saying about Joe Joyce today. It's time for him to hang him up. You wound him up at the top table about, his mental faculties. I mean, I know it's all in good fun, but this is a serious sport, and that's a serious thing that can happen to fighters. Are you, as a fellow fighter before an opponent, concerned about Joe Joyce's?
No, Joe Joyce is an extremely intelligent guy. It's not good. I've no love. He's an extremely intelligent guy. Look, we went to university and studied art and some science. The guy is a clever guy. So but he said he's always been like that. Some people he's just like that. You can never judge the book by its cover. Some people, we all have our rhythm in life, and your rhythm might be faster than mine, mine might be faster than yours, but we all find a way to synchronize and work together and get shit done. And he's achieved a lot, and he's a cross-country athlete as well, you know what I mean? So the guy runs 14 miles. Maybe that's just his thing. You know what I mean? I can't run 14 miles.
So
I might run 10, but...
So how do you approach a fighter like Joe Joyce with all the accolades, as you said? It looks like one of you is going to come through and maybe get back in the mix of the championship conversation, and the other one will likely be talked about as someone who should, probably be done in the sport.
I have to do what I do normally and naturally, and that's to be adaptable. I've been adaptable my whole life, you understand, and versatile. That's how I've survived so long, and that's it. I have to be adaptable. Whatever he comes with, I got to adapt. If he's fast, I got to match him with timing. If he's fit, I got to match him with something else, you understand? And that's what I like about my team and like about Buddy. We always try to we focus on me more than the opponent, you understand? If I'm throwing this much jabs, okay. If I'm doing this, with my, that's what we're focusing instead of, George, I throw 200 jabs, we need to match it. No. If you're throwing 120 jabs, you're right there, and it's enough to create damage. You know what I mean? If you throw 200, that's going to evade 150 of them and hit him with 100. You understand? And that's my mindset. You understand? Not to match him.
Well, that just displays your ability to analyze a fight as an addition to being a fighter. So as I wrap up, let me just get your opinion on some of these massive British boxing fights coming up. The first being Dubois versus Parker. How do you see that fight going, and who wins and how?
I think it's a very, very intriguing fight. I think Dubois might get it done early. If he doesn't get it done early, then I favor Parker to win on points. But I think Dubois is going to come for him early. And we've seen Joseph get caught early in fights before. But he's tough, and his boxing ability is quite good. And Joseph is very crafty. I think he's more crafty than Dubois. Dubois is probably stronger than him and more explosive, but Joseph is very crafty. I boxed him, AJ's boxed him, he's boxed Takem, he's boxed for Ruiz, all these guys, and he's very crafty. He's very crafty in the back foot. So if it goes past 6 rounds, I think Parker can cause an upset. But I picked Dubois to get him out there early.
Just a few weeks after your fight, we're going to see, finally, Eubank Ben. It looks like it's deal done, delivered. It's going to happen this time. What are we going to see on the 26th?
Fucking hell. That's a tough one because it's tough. You got Conor, who's got the ferociousness and the aggression and that work rate and youth. But then you got Chris, who's got that incredible DNA. He's tough. He's tough like his father. He ain't got the punch power that his father have, but he's tough. We've seen Chris take a beating before. He's tough, and he's very experienced. and it seems like he always keeps himself in shape. People say, "Oh, his age is and the other." So I don't know. I can't honestly pick a winner right now. But Conor's been very ferocious and very tenacious. But that's also can be a bad thing in experience as well. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
I mean, if you had to pick, which way is that going?
Conor is my guy, man. I'm cool with Chris Conor is my guy, so I'll pick Conor Ben. He's my guy, you know. I mean, Conor is my guy. Me and Conor talk. Me and Chris don't really talk. He's cool with my brother. You know, but I speak to Conor.
And last one for me, we've seen Tyson Fury hang him up. What are your thoughts on Fury's retirement? What did you think when you first heard it, and how does that affect boxing?
Tyson just waiting to get bored. He'll be back. Tyson's the guy. He needs milestones. 2 back-to-back defeats to Usyk. He just said, "Fuck boxing. I don't care." But in a minute, he will get bored, and he think, if I come back for a third time and lose another 80 pounds, and go back to and fight for the title and win the title again, then that make me the greatest of all time to do it. You know, and he needs those kind of men. And I think that's what happened. It will retire, blow up, and then he'll say, "You know what? I'm tired of this. Let me go back again." And I think that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting to get bored again.
It's a pleasure to talk to you as the build up to a big fight. It's been a while. It's always fun to have you in the ring. We can't wait to see you. And April 5th at the Co-op Arena in Manchester, Radio Rahim with the body snatcher, Dillian Whyte. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.